Hey folks, this is Ben, and today I have the Roseselsa CJ20, the collab with Andy Audio Vault, AAV. So as you know, Andy and I are friends. So I'm not going to do a review on this. I'm going to try very hard not to review this because it won't be completely unbiased, obviously, right? So I'm just going to describe the sound signature of this and my impressions. And no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell you the sound signature. So the CJ20 is basically a planar magnetic IEM driver, and it has been in development for quite a while. I think nearly a year before it came out. And Andy's idea behind this is to play his favorite genre of music well, which is like really seriously hardcore metal, black metal, death metal. Types of metal I don't even know of, all right? But it also works when you're listening to hard rock, heavy rock, and I think let me kind of like go a bit more into detail on that. So if you look at the marketing material, it tells you that you can, if you are listening to rock, you should listen to it using the white bore tips. And if you're listening to something that's more vocal focused, go with the narrow bore tips. I don't have the stock ones with me, so I've used the Divinus Velvet white bores. For the narrow ones, I've used the Final Type E. I hope they represent the sound that you will get when you listen to it using the original tips. But let me go into the tuning and the sound signature. So in order for it to play well with rock music, it needs to have enough impact and slam in the bass for the drums and the kick to come in to be presented clearly and realistically. So Andy's idea is for it to feel like you are actually in the concert, in a gig or a concert, sitting and listening to it there. And that's where the drum is tuned that way. And the other thing that comes up very, very obviously when you put this on, the guitars. If you're listening to rock music, the guitars are right there. The guitars and the impact of the drums are the two key features of this set. Now you'll find that vocals will be a bit recessed. If you're using a very neutral source, you'll find vocals it's a bit recessed. So it's not going to play well with all types of music. I can tell you that. I've tried a few things. It will play well with rock. And okay, let me get back to the basics. Sub bass, the presence is there. There's enough sub bass, but it's there to support the mid bass, which gives you that impact slam and the hard hitting feel when drums are hitting. AC/DC Thunderstruck. That's a good track for you to try this thing on. Mids, like I was saying, it's a bit recessed, not the strong point, not its focus. If you want to have better mids, the narrow bore tips help a little bit. And treble wise, the treble is very smooth, no sibilance, nicely tuned, not super airy. That's not to say that it's veiled in any way. It's not. It is tuned to have the right amount of shimmer and sparkle to make guitars and cymbals come out clearly and realistically. So that is essentially the tuning, the sound signature for this. Soundstage wise, I do find it slightly narrow. You might want to give it some additional power with your amps or whatever. It expands slightly wider with more power, but it is very tall. The soundstage is tall. It's got enough depth to it too. Okay, if I talk about the narrow bore tips and how it sounds, narrow bore tips don't really sound that good when you're listening to rock music. So it is a more general genre listening for you. Would I recommend buying this, listening to listen to general kind of music? And I don't think so. It works. And there is a nice analog tonality to it. There's still the treble is slightly enhanced. Vocals are pushed forward a little bit, and the mid bass is tucked in a little bit, but it's still. I think you can get better sets to play if you're listening to other genres. So But it, it is there in case for example, you're like you just want to like continue using and you're too lazy to change to another IEM and you just want to keep using it, just change the balls, change the tips, and from the wide balls to the narrow balls, and then you've got that. I tested it on a whole bunch of genre, as I was saying. So what should you listen to when you are testing this? So I don't listen to any this kind of music. I don't even know what the bands are, right? Yeah. Some of you might do. But so it works really well, like I was saying, AC/DC Thunderstruck. That is an excellent track for you to try this IEM on. Polyphia's Playing God. Check out my other tracks. If you're listening to stuff that has a lot of very fast moving guitars, this is excellent. I'm not supposed to review this. So fast moving guitars come through very clearly because of the speed of the drivers. So you will get a lot of snappy guitars. The clarity in terms of the notes, the pulls, the plucks, and all that are presented very clearly on this set. So imaging, layering, good, but it's a bit limited by the width of the soundstage, so you don't get that much space between notes as you would like. Not a big deal, because if you're listening to, like I was saying, if you're listening to rock, all the speed of the driver helps to present all the various plugs and the guitar strings and all that very, very clearly. The cymbals and really come out clearly. But imaging and layering, not its strongest point. I think that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to stop right there because I'm not going to try to review this. I'm just trying to give you a description of the sound signature. I hope I've done that, and I hope I haven't described whether I like it or not. I'm not going to tell you. That's up to you to find out. But yeah, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.